Good afternoon and welcome to Carnation Crafts. We are live in the Carnation Craft studio. As always, it's wonderful to have your company. We are here today with Fresh Blooms, which is one of my all-time favourites because it's got pigeons and they're really cute. And I absolutely love this collection. It has always been one of my favourites. And it's got a really weird thing for me because I was living in the building at Create and Craft when this came out. So it's got like really odd memories for me, but I really love it. So good afternoon to you all. Hey Pam Lillington, how you doing? Lovely. If you want to watch this, you can watch it on YouTube or on Facebook, either or. What is Fresh Blooms? Fresh Blooms is a really beautiful, spring-like, gorgeous flower shop. That's what it's based around. So the main card shape is your stepped box card shape, and it can be used for a number of different things, but it creates this gorgeous shop front, which is insanely awesome. And it's here, if I just turn it so you can see all the different dies on there, it's absolutely huge. Beautiful, beautiful card shape. So many elements on there and so many things you can do just with that one piece. Then we've got your on the facade, which has got a beautiful little bike on it. It's got little plant pots. I'll just move that so it's not glaring. There you go. Little plant pots, the bicycle, the little boxes, all the different elements that you'll need to make your flower shop. Super clever and useful. And you've got your arrangement maker, which is here, all of your flowers. You've got the little piece at the bottom, which is so clever, where you've got this panel, the wooden panel, and the little pots at the bottom slip into that panel and the flowers slip into the little vases. Really cute to create all of these gorgeous card shapes that you're doing and to bring in your florals. And then down here we've got your feathered friend. It's your pigeon. Let me just put it in front of this. Look how cute they are. They're so sweet. I've always loved the pigeons. Do you like pigeons?
I do like the pigeons.
I can't get that back, Miss Taz.
I'll do it in a minute.
So that is Fresh Blooms. You can find on the Carnation Crafts website. That's www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. The number that you go and search for is 210201. Your best price today is $89.99 for the full collection, which is huge. So it would normally be $134.96. You're getting it as a show price of $99.99. However, if you use your 10% discount from your newsletter, you can get it for $89.99, meaning you're making a saving of £44.97. Huge saving, which is epic. So that is your Fresh Blooms collection. It's the main collection that we've got on here today. We've also got some other elements for you as well. So things like your perfect papers, which are sort of the perfect pairing for Fresh Blooms. So all the artwork that you get from Carnation, everything's done in-house. What they also do is collect papers for you. They get the colour sets all right to mix with the vignettes, and they pop them in a pack for you here. You get 6 colours, you get 8 of each, so you get in 48 sheets. It's A4, it's 300 GSM, white on the back, coloured on the front. And this particular set, I think, is one of their most vibrant. It's such a lovely set of perfect papers, really gorgeous colour tones in this. And it'll be really good for a lot of your card making across the board. We've got spring colours, but you've got Christmas colours as well. So you'd be able to use it on Christmas colours as well as on your spring cards as well, right across the board, whatever you're making. And then have we got these as well, Miss Taz? Are these part of the main, or is this?
And a snap cell.
It's extras. We're looking at the extras, which is very exciting. So for these, we have got, can we see them on there, Miss Taz, or is it too high? I go here for your rectangle 3. I'll pop it in front. You see? Your rectangle 3 frame. That is a beautiful panel frame. If you look at that, you've got all of your filigree elements that sit on top. You will be best to use some cut tidy when you're doing things at that delicate. Look how stunning that is. Absolutely gorgeous. All of those layers. Brilliant for apertures, really good for your aperture cards. So that is on the Carnation website on 210209. That is your rectangle 3. Show price today $24.99. UK P&P is $2.95. If you spend over £50 on the Carnation Crafts website, you will always get free P&P. So always keep that in mind as well. It's very useful to know, very useful to have. We're going to have a look at the trellis panel as well, which just sits here. This is a really lovely card base. It's also a really lovely panel for putting florals through. Tuck your florals in it and behind it. It looks absolutely incredible. Miss Sharon's going to do demos for us, and she will go through the boards. You're going to see everything that we're showing you today. But this one has always been a firm favourite with so many people. This is your flower pot. It's got decorations for your flower pot, your trellis on top. You've got 2 colourways for it, I believe, if my brain serves me correct. Yep. And then you've got your fork and your trowel. Is that what they're called?
Right, yeah.
So all of your elements to it. And you've also got a little tag in case you had planted some seeds in there. And the pigeons look divine on there. They're so, so cute. So that is what you'll be seeing today. Just to let you know, your planter collection is 210206, and you've got a best price today of $35.99. That's for both of those pieces, I believe. Is that correct, Mr. Taz? And $2.95 P&P. You will need to use your 10% discount code, which you can get from your newsletter. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone, and then we're going to go over to Miss Taz for the boards. Good afternoon, Miss Suzanne.
What? I'm not doing the boards.
Did I say Miss Taz was doing the boards? Miss Sharon. It's okay because I called my cat Miss Taz earlier and her name's Miss Phyllis. The brain doesn't always work. Good afternoon, Suzanne. Miss Taz is in a panic. She can do the boards if she wants. Then we've got Karen, good afternoon. Linda Poland, Linda Wilson, Mary Morgan. And then we've got Linda McLeod, Carol Overton. Good afternoon to you all. Tammy, hey Tammy. And then we've got Debbie Brownlee, Pamela Linton, Vic Witch over on YouTube as well. And Vic says, good afternoon, hope you're well, Carla. I bought this collection bit by bit until I had it all. It's just so pretty. It really is beautiful. I just love it so much. Hey, Pearl as well. It's really good to have your company. But Miss Sharon is going to show Miss Taz how to do the boards in case Miss Taz ever needs to do the boards. So we'll take you over to Sharon now.
Yeah, you got a new job, Taz. So let's start with that fabulous collection. So this is your card shape. Let's make sure you can see it nicely. So let's start with that. This that you can see white is the card shape. It's got a lovely L-shaped design. When we come to demo, I'll show you how it all goes together. So with that, you've got your mats and layers with this beautiful filigree. So you can choose whether to layer those up. Of course, they're going to look beautiful with the perfect papers. You've got 2 sentiments in this set. You've got with love and happy birthday. There are so many extras in this set. So these panels are going to go on your box sort of panels, which I'll explain more when we actually come to look at the die itself. Then you've got the decorative elements. This is your little canopy. So when you're creating your shop, this creates a lovely canopy, and I'll show you the artwork that goes with that because it really gives it a dramatic sort of theatre-like effect. So you've got this lovely warm burgundy and red colour scheme. Then you've got elements to decorate. If you don't want to use the artwork, of course, it looks beautiful just using your perfect papers, and perhaps your blush card as well would look lovely. So there are different ways to put that together to give you different looks. So that's your card shape. So that's your stepped box card shape. Now we've got the arrangement maker. I think this is one of my favourite die sets already. It's so versatile, so useful. There are so many flowers in this set that I think it's one you're going to come back to. And as Carla said, you've got this fabulous sort of wooden pot holder. What's the best way to describe it? Like a little shelf.
Like a little shelf.
These fit beautifully, and I love the fact you've got different heights as well to these, so you can get a different look. And if you look at this, you'll see there's a little cut mark in between each one, so you can configure this however you want to. Perhaps if you're putting it on one of this, if I bring in, let me show you, bring in this card that Carla's passed me. On this side of the panel, you can fit all 4, but perhaps if you were putting them here, you might want to snip it down because you would only fit 2 on there. So you can configure it how it works best for you. I love the different looks you get with this. The other thing with the pots is they've all got slots at the top, which enable you to pop your florals in to create your own arrangements. Really, really clever, and then they will pop in there. I really love, I need to mention this because I think it's so clever, this vase, the way it's got the stems, the artwork. So when you pop your stems in, it looks like they're in the water. Clever, really lovely. I love the artwork. So that's your sort of pots and vases. Now we come to the florals. So you've got all of these florals in the die set. You can see there's a huge amount in this set, and then the artwork that goes with it. So you've got a lovely selection of colours here. Lovely selection of different sort of sizes. If you think about the different vases and pots you've got there, you've got a couple of really good foliage, which are great for backgrounds. Then you've got your tulips, you've got gerberas, you've got this lovely gypsophilia. These look like peonies to me. Some lovely spring daffodils. You've got a really nice mix of florals, so they're going to work really well. I like the fact that you can go, perhaps if you're using the light blue from the Perfect Papers, you might go for the more spring colours like the daffodils, the gypsophilia and these lovely sweet peas. But if you're going for the rich reds, you're probably going to pick out these red and yellow gerberas and maybe the tulips. So you really can play around and get very different looks by combining different florals. So that's your arrangement maker.
Such a corking die set.
It's
the
brilliant,
arrangement
isn't
maker.
it? So so much crammed into that set as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's huge.
Now this is on the facade, and this is kind of your scene builder. If you think about that card shape, how it's almost like a shop front, and you've got those two panels, the box panels. These are going to give you the elements to go with your florals to kind of build that scene. So the first thing that's going to go really well with the florals are these hanging pots. So if you think about the L shape of that card, you've got the height. So these pots are going to look really well.
Miss Taz
Poor
is trying
Taz.
to write notes to
Poor
Sharon.
Taz is trying
We
to tell me
can't do two things at once, Miss Taz.
No. I can't talk and read at
No,
the
I
same time
can't.
quite clearly. So you've got little slots in here that enable you to pop your florals on. Poor Taz having to work with us too.
She has said twice today that she needs a pay rise.
Yes. Yeah, I think she does.
I don't think that's entirely fair.
Well, I don't know. I can kind of... I do have sympathy with poor Taz trying to deal with us too. So then we've got... I love this bicycle. And all of these elements are going to work really well with the flowers. If you look at this bicycle, you've got an opportunity to pop some flowers in that box at the back. You've got this lovely basket at the front. You've got these beautiful candles. The artwork's just lovely. This ladder is going to work really well if you think about the height of that card shape. If you want to pop some of your pots on here, some of these smaller pots are going to sit nicely on those steps.
Think of your mice for crafty little things as well with that ladder, because so cute up and down that ladder.
Oh, cute. And then there's even more in this set. You've got this lovely filigree corner. I love the artwork on this because it's very subtle. This ornate, this could be a sentiment strip, or it could be, well, it looks like an ornate mirror, but it's just a lovely label, lovely design element. Then you've got these lovely floral corners. These are fabulous. They work really well actually with the flower pot, the larger die. And you can snip into this one really easily to build up. These ivy look fabulous cascading from these pots as well. So different ways to use those. And then you've even got some really useful dies here. These are great because you can use these in two different ways. They're going to create, if you use the aperture of them, it's going to give you somewhere where you can pop in a gift card. But if you use them independently, you could sort of use brads with them. You can tuck things in. They're just really nice design elements. So that is on the facade. And now we have the pigeons, Carla's favourite. I'm sure Carla's got names for them all.
I'm not allowed to use my names.
Oh.
They've started naming their characters at Carnation, and I think it's to stop me from doing it. I mean, I still make names up for them anyway, but you know, there is always that. I just really love pigeons.
I do, and I really love the way that Nick's done the colouring on these because it's really pretty. And you know, you don't necessarily think of a pigeon as a pretty bird, but the way that the artwork, the colour, the way it goes from sort of blue to green to purple on his neck is just so pretty.
It's cute.
And of course, because you've got the option to mirror these, it means you really can build a scene. You can have two of these little guys facing each other. By flipping it, you kind of get different ways to pop them on. And this guy looks a bit crazy.
That's Gary.
He looks a bit like Carla, a bit nuts.
There's Gary, Lenny, and Dave.
Gary, Lenny, and Dave.
Yeah,
I like that. But yeah, he looks like he's enjoying himself. So yeah, that's your Feathered Friends is the name of that set.
really, really sweet, isn't it? They've just got such gorgeous collections, and I love it when we get a chance to relook at collections that we've used previously. It's a really nice way of reinvigorating, isn't it? Because we see them again and we're like, oh, I'm going to get that out, because it reminds us all the time how amazing all of these collections are from Carnation. The main collection that you're looking at today, which is your arrangement maker, your on the facade, your stepped box card shape, and your feathered friends, that comes in at a total of $89.99 today if you use your 10% discount code. That's a crazy awesome deal. It's supposed to be $134.96, so your savings are just enormous on this. And because it's over £50, it's free UK P&P. Miss Tiztaz is just telling me it's a saving of $44.97. Because you're getting it so cheap, and because you're also getting your free P&P on this offer while it's here, this is the time to put in your perfect papers as well, because you'll get the whole collection going for even then. If you could put your perfect papers in and you get your main collection, you're still paying less than you normally would for the main collection. So it's a total utter, I love it when they do this, when they give us these sort of extras that we can come back to. Really, really nice. So just to say hello to Tammy. She says, I love the birds. I know. Hello, Pauline. Hey, Carol Hart. Rachel Burke. She says she's got 3 pigeons that visit me daily and they lay around my pond and torment my dogs. I've got 2 pigeons. They're married. Marge and Trevor. They don't get on right well. Marge has got a real attitude problem, I've got to tell you. I think she's had a hard life. And then we've got Viv says, afternoon, Carla, Sharon and Taz. Bought the arrangement maker a while ago, but not used it yet. Looking forward to some ideas. Get your arrangement maker out. What I would advise with the arrangement maker, this is just something personally that I've done, so obviously each their own. Cut out loads of the flowers and just have bags of them. Then get things out like your wreath makers, or your different sort of wreath card shapes, those kind of things, because they work. We can do summer wreaths with them, which are just beautiful. Always remember to bring all your collections together, because everything works just in the most extraordinary way with Carnation. It's a play and change around. Are you ready, Miss Sharon?
I am.
She's ready.
I am. And I did exactly that you were saying about the flowers.
Yeah.
I sat and die cut loads of them and just kept them in this little pot. And because they're going to go with so many other sets, aren't they? They're just really, really useful. So I thought for the first demo, I'll show you how the card shape works. So I've die cut it from Carnation 350 GSM card. You do want to use a good weight cardstock for this, because obviously it is quite a construction sort of type shape. All your score lines are there for you, and it's so simple to put together. Now, I have already put one of the panels on just to save a bit of time. This is when you download your vignettes with your papers. This lovely, with the backing papers, is this lovely wood grain effect, and I thought that would be quite nice on one side actually, just to make a bit of a change. If you caught my shows earlier, you'll know I did used all of the mats and layers that came with it, so I thought we'll just bring in the papers for this demo. And to put the panels together, it's really, really simple. You just fold on the score lines and then bring it around, and that creates your box. So it's very, very simple. And then you've got a little box element, and that's really handy because there is a die that will cut slots into this piece if you want to put your flowers in here. I'm going to use those lovely pots for this. So to put this, turn this into the box element, all I need to do is just pop some glue on here. So I'm going to use my everyday glue. I'll just put some on my mat and grab one of my applicators.
You're so organised with all your things. While Miss Sharon's just getting her bits and bats and just gluing that one flap down, can I just explain, if you're brand new to Carnation and it's your first time with us, the artwork, so Miss Sharon's talking about vignettes, that's the artwork that's created. So when you're looking at the florals, when you're looking at anything like that, it'll have an image on it, and that is hand drawn by the Carnation team. And all the artwork is done in-house, which is really, really nice. It's free to you. The artwork is free for you to use. You go to the Carnation Wear Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk, and you can see a banner menu there. And you go on to downloads and then onto free downloads. And you just basically at this point will see a box on the right hand side that allows you to type in, and you type in the collection that you want to look for. This is Fresh Bloom, so you would look for that. It'll give you a lot of PDFs, or it'll give you a PDF which has got a lot of images on it, downloads to your computer, and you print them all out and you pop your die on top and cut it that way. Now they also give you free backing papers, so free artwork, free backing papers. It's just a really lovely pairing. They're always done so well. And those free backing papers are designed to go with the vignettes and to go with your perfect papers each time for the collections. So they're going to be an absolute joy for you to work with. Sorry, Sharon, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to let people know where to get that from.
So for the rest of the cards, I'm going to use the mats and layers that are in the die set. And I've gone with the perfect papers, and I've gone with quite a subtle colour scheme here. I've gone with the creams from those. So this large one, I have already popped these together just to save a few minutes time. And it's very obvious where these all go because they only fit where they're meant to go. So yeah, always helps. So this is going to go on this lovely large box panel. And then I've also cut the sentiment from that set as well. And I love the fact that with the sentiments you get your background for it, because if I were to put that sentiment directly on there, you just wouldn't read it. It's not clear enough. So by putting it on the sort of shadow piece, it's going to make that stand out beautifully. So all I need to do is just put a tiny bit of glue here and there on that sentiment with my everyday glue, and this is where the applicators really come in, because anything a little bit delicate like this, it's so easy to just put tiny dots of glue because you really don't need a lot of glue. And then we can pop that in place on there, and then that can go on there. I'll pop that on with a bit of pin flare.
Vic Witch says, I've got friends that look as dopey as those pigeons. Miss Taz, stop. Get yourself onto a sticky wicket if you carry on like that.
There we go. So that's my sentiment. And then I've got this pretty little strip that's just going to go down that centre piece. I love the fact there's even a piece to decorate that.
Oh, they think of everything at Carnation.
Yeah, it's real
really
attention to detail, isn't it?
But that's the whole point of having the artwork done in-house, because everything's designed to be a die. So before the process ever gets anywhere else, it's already formed in the idea of it being a die. So we do get the attention to detail. That's why that's what makes Carnation Carnation, and it's what sets them apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. So that, if I turn this to the side, it will be easier to line up. So that's going to go down the centre piece, just to bring that all together. And then I've got this last L shape. There is a box element here, but I've snipped that off because I'm going to keep this side flat. So you've got the ability with this die set to customise it to whatever you want to decorate it with, really. There we go. So we'll pop that on there, like so. And by using my everyday glue, I've got a little bit of wiggle room, so I can make sure I've got that straight. And then this little panel is going to go on here, like so. So that ties that all together. Now I can start to decorate. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got my little ladder, which I thought would be quite nice here with that lovely wood panel behind it. Just going to pop a bit more glue on my mat.
When I was demoing this first time around, one of the things I did was I just sort of cut the same shape and made a little box that can go inside there, and you can put a little gift in.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Because it's got a slot, so it slots in, so it's something else
So
you can do with it
slide
as well.
one in.
Slide
Yeah,
a
I
little
like
box
that
in.
idea. Yeah, that's really nice. I love the fact that you've got so many different ways to use this. I made a card earlier on Create and Craft where I put a panel here on top of that to turn it into sort of slightly a more traditional card.
Nice.
Just for a different look, because this is kind of your starting point. You can then customise it to get, I was saying earlier, there's just hundreds of different ways to use these, aren't there? And
Really
that's
versatile.
the beauty of Carnation, isn't it?
Really versatile.
Now I've got my lovely piece that's going to go
so
here.
much.
So I tend to, I should have put some on, I tend to use red line for this, just to attach this. And you just need to attach it at the top so that you've got the ability to then slide your little pots in. So I'll pop that there.
Fresh blooms and crafty little things will always have a special little place in my heart. I love them both so much.
And I was saying earlier, this set is just going to work so well if you've got hidden gems, isn't it? Because
Yes.
it extends your little shop.
I was thinking about that this morning because some of the backing papers as well from Hidden Gems
were a florist, weren't they? So they've worked.
Excuse me, I do apologise. Sorry. That was unpleasant for you all. I do apologise.
Bless you. So
Made myself jump. I didn't know I was going to sneeze.
I've got my lovely hanging pots, so they're going to go here. But I am going to start to shape everything now. This is kind of my starting point. Now the fun part to bring in all the florals and start to really bring it to life. So
Tell you what else, that ladder would look amazing with Comfort of Home as well as a piece in the house. If you put the florals on there and have it in, because you've got the big armchair on Comfort of Home, it's like a full home scene.
Oh, lovely.
That would be really nice in the back with some pots on it.
So I'm going to go over the back of these pots just to give them a bit of shape, round them out a little bit, like so. And they're going to sit here. But before I stick them down, I can pop my florals in. Now, what I'm going to do is stick to using one colour of flower for this. So for these, I'm going to pop in these lovely little daffodils. And you'll see there's a slot. So they slide straight in. And then depending on how you're going to glue them to your card, you can either pop a bit of tape there just to hold that still, or I'm going to use pin flare, which will just hold all of it in place at the same time. So you can work from behind if you want to. And this is where the beauty of the double-sided vignettes comes in, because you can flip your flowers and have them facing different ways as you go, so that they don't all look the same, particularly when you are using the same flower. There we go. It's all going to fall out as I go. I think I would be better off putting my pin flare on as I go. So flip them over, check where you are. We'll pop a bit of pin flare there so that stays put.
If you're doing these at home and you're unsure and you don't want to commit to the flowers, you can use some of the what's the tape called that you can move? You know what I mean?
Some washi tape or something.
Yeah, just to kind of hold it just for a couple of seconds until you've got your placement exactly where you want it to be, and then you can glue down.
And of course, with the pin flare, you've got the ability to wiggle this about anyway. So we can pop that in there. Because I'm only putting one bloom in each for this one, I haven't kind of got to worry about the arrangement as such. But yeah, if you're putting a few different flowers in, pin flare at least gives you the ability to move them around. So I need one more.
One of the things I really want to do, and I've been saying it ever since I started working for Carnation, and I am going to do it one day, I'm going to get a massive, massive box frame, huge, great big long box frame, and I'm going to do a floral display with all of their flowers.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Don't you think that'd be amazing? With all the different florals that they've done, because they obviously do incredible florals. I just think it'd be really pretty.
That would be lovely. And florals really are my kind of favourite thing ever. So we've got all those ready. And we can pop that coming down from the top like so. Because I've used pin flare, I can play around with that. You could go in and add more flowers if you want to, and you can certainly play around with them to get them all. I think they all look quite varied. Just by having the mirrored vignettes, it means you do get quite a bit of variety in them. So now we've got the pots to go in the bottom. So I've got 2 long and 2 short, I think I picked out.
It's like having a doll's house.
It is, isn't it? So I've got 2 of the shorter size. And these literally just slide in.
Linda says nobody does florals better. I agree with you, Linda.
Yeah, I agree.
It's their speciality. It's well, they do a lot of things incredibly well, don't they? But florals, they just seem to have, or Nick and the design team, art team, seem to have a real affinity for florals.
Yeah, they do. Their florals are always, the colours are just always so perfect.
Some of the roses they've done have been insanely awesome.
Yeah.
They've done different ones through different collections with and they're so pretty.
They are. They really are. There we go. Like
It's also the flower I know.
The flower, you know, you only know one.
It's the one I know. I know that one.
I'm just giving these a little bit of a shape. And I love the fact that they just tuck in so nicely. And then we can fill them.
Look at that.
And I've got these lovely sweet peas that I can just slide in.
How clever is that?
It's really cute, isn't it? What I like to do is just pop a little bit of glue and then slide it in, and then that will kind of stay in place once it's in. There we go.
Comes to life. Absolutely comes to life.
Really does, doesn't it? Of course, to make your life easy, you can pop your flowers in. They don't have to be in there to pop your flowers in, so you can really play around with it. And just a little bit of glue will stop those sliding about. I'm just going to pop a couple in each. So that's that one. And then I think we'll have some white flowers.
That panel with those pots in and some florals in, if any of you are looking for some very simple ideas for cards, some very clean cards if you like, if you use that panel on just a card base with white layers, so white on white, and then place that on top, and especially if you've got a nested die with the you know, the sort of softer rounded corners, really insanely stunning, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I can imagine that would look beautiful. So just a little bit of glue on the back just to stop those flowers.
Oh, Jill Gray says I did exactly what you said about the long frame, but I did it with all the animals for my my grandkids' bedroom. How amazing is that?
Oh, lovely.
Hey, Karen Richardson.
I have another white one in here. This gypsophilia is lovely, and it just fills the space so nicely.
Well, it cools the tones as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What I love about this set that I've noticed from this morning using it is you really can get a very rich colour scheme or a very spring-like colour scheme. You really can go either way with this because you've got such a lovely mixture of floral colours. It really does work both ways, doesn't it?
Just stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So I'm just popping a little bit of glue on the back of those flowers just so that they don't fall out of my little pots. There we go. And we'll have that one the other way around just to vary it a little bit. There we go. And I can slide that into the little holder. And then the last one, back to these lovely sweet pea. I'll just give them just a little bit of a shape. Love the colour of these. Very spring-like. So we'll pop a couple of those in there. Like so. Just secure them at the back with a bit of everyday. Oops. And then we'll slide that back in. There we go. I love these. These are like little milk churns, aren't they? So that's one side done. And then this definitely needs something. So I've got one of the little pots to go at the bottom here, and I've popped some tulips in there. So we'll pop that at the bottom of the ladder, like so. So I'm building a scene really. And then, yay! Couldn't not bring these guys in. So I'm going to give them both a little bit of a
with
shape.
his head on the side.
Yeah, he's fabulous, isn't he?
Makes me chuckle.
And we'll round out the bellies. They're fabulous, aren't they? And then we'll just, there we go.
And Suzanne says, thank you all for cheering me up. Feeling a bit down as my scan and cut's got to go to the hospital.
Oh dear.
Really missing my machine. Well, hopefully it will be fixed for you soon, Suzanne. Linda Wilson says those pots are so cute. And over on YouTube, Debbie says to see the card come into life is truly wonderful.
It is, isn't it? So he's sitting on the top step. And then I think this crazy guy, I might just pop him
You
on
could
this
not
little
receive
platform. It's brilliant, isn't it?
That's not me, Miss Taz.
I don't know why, but
Why?
there's
No.
something about it,
Have
Carl.
you just said that you're the sensible one and that Sharon is the other one and then
No,
that
no.
that's me?
No, Sharon's the little one on the side.
The one that she's just used on the card?
Yeah. I'm the one that's got the little bandage on the nose. So I have a poorly nose. And
You're the crazy one.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon.
I'm entirely sure that's a fair judgment of my character.
There we go. Look at that.
That is incredible, Sharon.
It's a lovely scene, isn't it? And I haven't gone with too many colours there, so it's you know, there's quite a lot on there, but it doesn't look too busy.
I think just the joy of seeing it piece to piece, and I think what you can see as Sharon's doing the demo as well is how much your imagination can come into it, how much you can kind of bring it to life in your head and then get that out on card, which is really lovely, isn't it? Because we get to play. It's almost like going back to kind of the days of fuzzy felt when we were kids, and you get to build these scenes in these towns, and it's a really nice way to spend time. And I think that's what Fresh Blooms is for me. It's that joyful moment of card making where it's just fun, it's imaginative, and there's literally nobody who wouldn't want to receive that card that Sharon's just made, because it's just beyond sweet, isn't it? It's lovely. All aspects of it are really sweet. Well, Miss Sharon is getting her, so they're all saying beautiful card, fabulous card, stunning card. Thank you. Viv says beautiful card, Sharon. Linda McLeod says lovely card, Sharon. Yeah, seeing it come to life just really makes a difference. So just to give you all a reminder, this is Fresh Blooms and the number for it is 210201. That's on the Carnation Crafts website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. You can get this today at $89.99. That's if you use your 10% discount code from your newsletter. If you don't use that code, it will come in at $99.99. However, it's got a massive discount on it. It should be £134.96. So Carnation is saving you $44.97 today. And you'll also get free P&P. So while you're saving that £44, it's worth putting in your perfect papers as well, which are stunning with this collection. They're so pretty with this. Miss Taz just said that it reminds me of her of drinking a red wine on a beach. You've got those beautiful tonals, really stunning. And again, as I said earlier, spring colours, Christmas colours, it'll take you through the year. Really beautiful set for your perfect papers for these. It might be that you've used your last ones from when you bought it originally. Now's your time to stock up. Your perfect papers are 210210, and that is, again, Carnation Crafts website, $14.99. If you only buy those, you will pay $2.95 P&P. Miss Taz, am I okay to do some finished samples? Is that all right? Just to show some bits. So some of these shop fronts, they're just delicious. So that little pigeon, I think he's my new best friend.
He's very
Look.
cute, isn't he?
Look his little
Peeping out.
face.
I think that's one of the ones I made this morning.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, you're a bit fancy, you.
And,
Isn't that gorgeous?
I love the way he peeks from behind the flowers.
He's so naughty. I'm supposed to do this professionally, but Miss Taz, it's all going wrong. You'll have to help me in a second. You know I'm old and incapable, I'm afraid. Got this one here.
That
I'm
looks
not good
lovely.
with the things. Sorry, Miss Taz.
Looks lovely with the trellis, doesn't it?
Are you doing that so I can do this? You've got Miss Taz's hands. She's like Debbie McGee.
I like the way
Look at his
he's
little
sitting on the crates there.
face. He's got the one that's on the side on the profile has got the most beautiful little face. He's so handsome. If you want to do something that is slightly more pared back, I was kind of talking about this earlier on. When are you doing it, Miss Taz? Is that easier for you?
Yeah.
So you can see there, that's something that's more pared back. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a calmer card. It's a very, very soothing card, beautiful. That is such a lovely idea. That little pot from the arrangement maker, it's powerful as far as the, that making your cards is concerned. And then I just wanted to show you this with the trellis shape, and then a couple more after that. Look at that. It's just cute. And then we've got this one. This has got your flower pot and your trellis panel, and I think that is absolutely incredible, that card.
It's lovely to have the trellis coming out of the flower pot
Isn't
like
it?
that, isn't it? Because that is what you would have in your garden.
And remember, that's
lovely.
a set, isn't it? You get both of those
Yes.
in the little collection. We'll have a look at that in a second. And then, on its own, the flower pot. So you can make a card just from that itself. Beautiful artwork, and I'm pretty certain that there are two colourways for that flower pot.
There's
a red one,
burgundy,
isn't there?
Yeah.
and then like
that
a
cream.
sandstone colour.
Yeah.
So really nice to play with, really nice to bring in ideas for different cards. Thanks, Miss Taz. So if you're looking to get hold of the trellis panel and the flower pot, that's a little bundle on its own today for the two together. So you can go to the Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk, and the number for those is 210206. You'll find it titled The Planter Collection. Its normal price is £45.98. UE can give you a discount today down to £39.99. However, if you're going to use that 10% discount code, we'll take it right down to you for £35.99 with a 2.95p and P. Oh, that was a lot. There was a lot of words that came out, and now I need to breathe. Miss Sharon, are you ready for another demo?
I am, yes.
Thanks,
And
mate.
we're going to use the trellis. And what I've done is I've used the sort of outside matte layer to create my card base. So I've cut that twice from Carnation 350 GSM, and then as always I've just scored the back piece to create a flap. So I'm just going to take off my red liner tape. Sorry, I'm going to cough to Miss Taz.
Do you want me to sing while you cough?
Sorry. Deary me. I don't know where that came from.
Do you want a bit of that? Might be a bit flat.
Yes, please.
I don't know how long it's been there.
Doesn't matter. It will do the job of stopping me from choking.
It could be about 3 weeks
That's
old.
very flat. That's very flat, but thank you. That will hopefully stop me dying live on air. So I've got my card base, and that's the perfect starting point. Now this card, because the last one was quite detailed, I thought let's go for something completely different. And this is almost clean and simple, I would say. So I've skipped the next, there is another matte layer with this one, but I've gone straight for
Look at that.
the trellis, and I've cut this from blush cardstock, which I just think is so beautiful against the white. It's got such a subtle colour to it. This is the blush natural. The blush cardstock does come in 3 colours. I say colours, they're just hints of a colour. This is natural, and then there's a rose and a blue, and it just looks lovely against the white.
Stunning, isn't it?
Lovely, isn't it?
Miss Tiztaz just said they would make really beautiful nameplates at weddings.
Absolutely, yeah. Wouldn't it? Yeah, really would.
I should make a really nice wedding invitation, don't you think?
Yeah, actually, this whole card would work well as a wedding invite. So what I've done is I've just popped some foam tape just behind that little panel, because you can't have a beautiful trellis like this without giving yourself the shadow.
I love shadow play so much.
So I will attempt to get that. That's not straight at all. It's hard when you can't look.
We can't lean over as well, so we don't always get these straight on demo. Obviously, it's something when you're at home, you just lean over the top, you'll be able to get it.
You just have to pretend it's straight. Actually, it's not bad. And of course, you can see straight away I've got that lovely shadow. So from this set, there's a lovely sentiment, happy birthday. And I've cut that from some glitter cardstock that I had at home. It's like a platinum sort of colour, very subtle. So I'm going to pop that on just with some everyday glue.
Doesn't that look incredible? Pauline E said she's just received her goodies from the weekend website offer. How exciting is that?
Extravaganza.
The spring extravaganza. That was some corking deals on that.
There we go. So just a bit of everyday glue on there. You don't need much because obviously this doesn't weigh very much. And that's going to look pretty on there. Again, I'll try and get it straight. Yep, that's okay. There we go. So that's my starting point, and I'm just going to bring in some florals. I'm going with a bit of a pink theme here. So what I've done is I've got some bits of foliage, and then those lovely, they look like peonies to me, and I've just snipped the stems off them, because what I'm going to do is just extend this out a little bit. So I'm going with a fairly symmetrical kind of look. So I'm going to start with these two kind of fern leaves. I'm going to give them a little bit of a shape. Just run my ball tool up the centre just to curl them a little. And this is the beauty of the trellis, you can tuck in. So I just need a bit of pin flare on the leaf, and I can tuck in like so.
I tell you what you could do with that trellis panel, you know, and sorry, my brain's gone off, and I think would be really beautiful. You know, if you've got the eyelet and the ring nested dies, and it's got the little plaited strip that goes, you can weave through the eyelet and ring.
Oh, nice, yes.
You'd be able to use that on the trellis and do some weaving on the trellis panel as well. If you did it in like the same coloured plait, that would look
pretty.
incredible. Oh, I'm going to play.
I do love this trellis. I can see so many uses for it. I think it's one of those that I'm going to use a lot.
Yeah, you get the ones that become your sort of go-to.
Go-to, yeah.
I don't know if any of you saw Miss Sharon's Mother's Day cards this year.
Oh yes, I got extra brownie points.
They were. She was telling me last night they were all sheer delight.
They
From
were.
the collection Sheer Delight, she made Mother's Day cards, and they were stunning.
And my mother-in-law has never made a comment about a card. I mean, obviously I hand make all my cards, and I've been giving her Mother's Day cards, well, or Andy has, for years, and she's never commented on the card until this year.
Until she got Sheer
And
Delight,
she said,
you see.
That's a beautiful card that Sharon made. So yes, that says it all, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, but it's knockout, isn't it?
Absolutely.
My Mother's Day card was a Carnation card.
Was it?
I didn't get any cards.
Well,
Not a Carnation one. I didn't get anything.
that's boys for you.
I had to tell my boys that it was Mother's Day, having told them the night before.
That's boys for you.
And their answer when I said it was Mother's Day, I think was something along the lines of, "Aren't you glad you had us?" Fair enough.
Oh, I love it. There we go.
How beautiful is that?
So you can just tuck in. I'm going vaguely symmetrical, but not too symmetrical. And then I've got these lovely sort of flower heads. I might need another couple of those. Let's delve in my little pot. Let's grab another one.
Miss Sharon's organisation skills are next level.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a tidy crafter, which I know is quite unusual for crafters because we are normally creative chaos, aren't we? But yeah, I'm a bit of a tidy crafter.
I can't start another project if I've still got stuff from a previous project on my desk.
Yes,
Can't
that's me.
start it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you there.
I have to clear it completely and then start.
So I'm going to layer these up. And it's very easy with these dies to just snip into them.
That's stunning. Look at that.
Pretty, isn't it? So I think we want...
Pauline E says, that looks so beautiful, Sharon. I love the clean, crisp style. And isn't that the joy of Carnation? Because no matter what your crafting style is,
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
it, the modern, the traditional, it doesn't matter. Because you can craft any way with Carnation.
Yeah.
It's the power of the artwork.
Yeah, you can take it in any direction. And I think that's great because you're always going to get great value for money with a Carnation set because you're never really going to run out of ideas for that set.
Well, they're timeless as well. I can't think of any set that Carnation have brought out that isn't timeless.
No.
And I've also never seen Carnation bring out a collection that is so wholly themed in one direction that you couldn't ever use it at
For
any
other
other
things.
time.
Yeah.
Everything is made to be diverse. Kate Jude says, is that for my birthday? Please.
There we go.
That is
quite clean and simple.
incredible.
But with that trellis, you don't need to add too much,
No.
do you?
It's got all the power it needs, hasn't it? And I think if we can just keep that there, sorry Taz, to take it where Miss Sharon has taken it, where it's clean, it's simple, it's very, very fresh. Or we can make it joyful and whimsy and fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the whole point, isn't it? Now, they were obviously made by two different crafters, and that's amazing because both of them have used the same card base with that trellis panel. They've both used florals and they have a completely different card at the end of it. That's the power of Carnation. Everybody's saying beautiful. So Debbie is saying they're also beautiful. Karen Richardson says, very pretty card. Linda says, I'm sold on that. I have to have it. Pauline E says, I'm currently scan and cutting from the Bounty of Life USB for a card for my neighbour has asked for. That's amazing. Just absolutely stunning. Thank you, Sharon. That was the most incredible demo. She's just very awesome. We do love Miss Sharon. This collection is called Fresh Blooms. So I'm guessing Fresh Blooms came out probably about, I don't know, 2 years ago, probably, I'm going to guess. About 2 years ago. And it's just awesome because it's everything, isn't it? We can do plain cards, we can do simple cards, we can do imaginative cards, we can build a shop. You can build a town by building several of the cards and creating a town. So if you've got littlies in your life, it's a way of giving them a little town scene that they can play with. There's elements, like I say, you could slip a little box into the card shape in order to put a gift inside it. There's a ton of different ways of using this collection. You can find it on the Carnation Crafts website, which is 210201. It's the Fresh Blooms collection. It's supposed to be £134.96. However, Carnation are giving you a show price today of $99.99, but they didn't stop there. They're letting you use your 10% discount from your newsletter. That'll take it down to $89.99, and they're going to give you free UK P&P. You're going to save £44.97 on the Fresh Blooms collection, and you will use it over and over again because it's just really easy to use and really rewarding to use as well, because you create such stunning stuff from it. And honestly, it's worth it just for the pigeons. That's all I'm saying. It's just worth it for the pigeons. Miss Sharon, are you ready?
I am.
She's ready. So we're going to third demo.
Yes, and we're going to do a square card this time, and I'm going to bring in some nesting dies because, you know, with these shows we like to show you as many different ways to use these as we can, and to incorporate things you might already have. So I've used, as always, my 350 smooth cardstock to create my card base, and I'm just going to pop these together to give me a nice square card to start from. I can't remember what size I did this one, is it? It's 7 by 7. So I'll just shuffle these together.
Use it, I think, when you use the 350 as a card. I mean, well, I always do anyway, because it's obviously the best card for your card bases. But don't you think that makes your card look crisper when you use the thicker card for it?
It does, and also it feels.
It does, doesn't it?
It feels like a more expensive card because it's got weight to it. I think there's nothing worse than making a card on flimsy card.
Flimsy card.
It just feels cheap, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does. You know, and it's no effort whatsoever to just use decent cardstock, is it?
No.
Now I've cut, this is one of my favourite nesting die sets actually, this Hessian. And I've stuck with the blues from the Perfect Papers because I'm kind of going for a spring look with this card. So
if you'd have gone with the creams, it would have been sunshine.
It would, wouldn't it? It'd be like a lovely big sun. So I've put some foam tape on the bottom layer, and I've cut this from the darker blue. And this is on some nice raised foam. So we can kind of pop that central-ish. And then the second layer, I've just used double-sided tape. So we can pop that on top. I've just gone with 2 mats and layers here. Again, this is another kind of quite clean and simple. There we go. And then I've decided to bring in from that on the facade set. I love this bike. I think it's really cool. Sweet. So I want to create really a bit of a scene in, and this nesting circle just keeps it all grounded without you having to do too much to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to add some flowers to the bicycle. So I've got I've picked out 2 of these sort of bamboo type pots, which I thought would look quite nice. So you can follow the curve slightly, and then I've got this pile of crates. So my bike can be, because the bike looks like it's leaning on something, or it needs to lean on something. So this is kind of my layout, and then we can start to decorate it with the florals. So think about what's going to be at the back, because that's obviously what you're going to need to stick down first. So for me, I'm going to start with this bamboo pot. So I'll just give that a bit of a curve.
Did you used to call them Alibaba baskets when you were little?
Yes, and we used to have one as our, I think everyone did, didn't they, in the 70s, an Alibaba washing basket. Yeah, we had one of those. And I'm going to pop a couple of these ferns in. So that one's going to go at the back.
I love those ferns. If you're making a wreath with the middies that you're getting from those ferns,
They would make
are going to be
fabulous
wouldn't
wreath.
they?
Yeah.
The foliage around it, and then to create some of those pinks in there as well as just an extraordinary wreath. And actually, you could use the circle hessians that you've got to create a base for a wreath there as well.
Yeah.
Although there are wreath cards from Carnation, but
yeah,
beautiful.
that would work perfectly, wouldn't it? I think wreaths are one of my favourite things to make, actually. I'm definitely a floral person. There we go. So the beauty of these is that I can play around with the arrangement. And then this one's going to sit in front of that one. And for this one, I'm going to pop one fern. and then this other foliage, just so they don't look identical.
Linda's just said, "Did you just read my mind?" I don't know, Linda.
You need to read it again.
Alibaba.
Oh, the Alibaba, yeah.
I just always remember having them. We always had that.
We
We had
did.
a wicker basket for, like a square wicker basket at the end of everybody's bed. And it used to have things like spare bedding in them.
Ah.
And my mum always used to call it the bicker wasket.
We didn't have that, but we definitely had an Alibaba basket. So I've given that a bit of a shape just so that it's got some dimension. And then for the bicycle, I'm going to round off the basket a little bit at the front, and then perhaps just a little bit on that, but the rest of it can be fairly flat, and that's going to sit perfectly there.
Sue Martin says, "Sorry, I'm late. Please don't apologise. We've got it on YouTube. You can watch it at any time." Nanette says, "Was on the naughty step at the weekend and I'm now struggling to stay off it again today." Unfortunately, it kind of becomes a permanent state of mind when you're with Carnation. But
it does.
It's not a naughty step, it's a creative step. And there is no price to be paid for being creative.
So with the bicycle, I die cut another one and I've snipped away the basket so that I can add a bit of depth to that. It's also going to make it even easier for me to pop my florals in, because I can literally stick them on there and then pop that on top to sort of sandwich them in. So I've got the sweet pea, and obviously these would look ridiculous if I stuck them in there. It would be a bit too big. So what I'm going to do, although they wouldn't look so bad at the front, but for the back they're too big. So I'm going to use the individual flowers to fill this basket and that little lovely little box on the back of my bicycle. So I'm going to use some everyday glue. I'm going to start at the back and add just some individual flowers. There is a little slot in this box so you can literally fit them in so they really are popping out. And then just work your way. You can leave a bit of the stems because there is that ability to poke them in. So I'm just going to pop up a couple of these in the back and fit them into that little slot that I've got there. There we go. So, and then the basket at the front, because I'm going to double layer it, I haven't got to worry about tucking in.
I think I've just worked out what you were saying, Miss Taz. Did you say baguette?
Yeah.
Oh, a baguette, yes.
I read her lips first as pillowcase, and it wasn't that. I'm not very good. Yeah, baguette would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell you, could use your donuts from Brain.
Hidden gems, there were
Hidden
donuts.
gems.
Yeah.
Have some little donuts in your baskets.
That would be cute, wouldn't it?
And the wine.
And the wine, yes.
From With Compliments.
There we go. Tuck that there. So I'm going to have a lovely pretty basket full of flowers on the front. And this is just a pop of colour. And it all ties in, of course, you know, as always with Carnation, the perfect papers, the blues go perfectly with the blue of that bicycle. So it all just ties in. I'm going to tuck this behind that petal. So I'm building real depth to my flowers here. And I think that's enough for in there. So then what I'm going to do is pop the front of that basket over the top.
If you cut that basket away from the bike and did it in the way that Sharon has done it with the decoupage element there and the florals behind it, it would make a really beautiful tag for a gift.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it just gives you can really fill that up when you have it separate like that. So it's just a pretty little scene. I could pop a sentiment at the top there if I wanted to, or you could even pop one at the bottom there. But it's kind of card that will work for all occasions, really, I think.
Absolutely stunning demos today, Miss Sharon.
Thank you.
Just to bring them all in so we can see everything that you've created today. Really, really beautiful examples of how to work with the Fresh Blooms collection. And this can be yours and can be in your lovely paws by possibly, what day is it, Miss Taz?
Tuesday.
Thursday. Ooh, that sounds quite soon. Have we got a show on? We've got a show on Thursday. Pauline says, oh, I like this one. My friend in Germany cycles everywhere. This would be perfect for her, although I don't have those nesting dies, so I'd have to use a different set. It's not really about which nested you use. The point of using dies, nested dies as your panels is that beautiful edging that you get. So you could do the same look with the shabbies, with the crystallines. Yeah. You could actually do it with just the plains. It's about using nesteds in their cleverest formations. So absolutely go for it. Everybody's saying gorgeous. Of course, you've done an amazing job today, Miss Sharon, as always.
Thank you.
Fresh Blooms is on the Carnation Crafts website on the number 210201. It is a show price today of $89.99 if you use your 10% discount code. So please do go and get that. Don't forget to download your free artwork from the Carnation's website and also your free backing papers. You also have a free angel policy on Carnation's stuffs too. So even though they are providing you with, hand-drawn artwork, you are allowed to sell anything that you cut. So if you make a card, you absolutely can sell it, and you can use them for charity and other things as well. Pauline says, I'll be sure to share when I've made my cards. Thanks, ladies, for the inspiration. And Karen says, thank you, ladies. I hope you all have a really, really wonderful day for the rest of today and for tomorrow. Miss Taz and I will be with you on Thursday, where we have got some very, very awesome and beautiful, stunning, just loveliness. Some new vignettes that are coming your way, special edition vignettes. So hopefully you can join me then. We'll do some demos and we'll have a look at them all. Miss Sharon will be back soon. And until then, we will see you. Take care of yourself and please be good to yourselves. Bye.